I'm not for it, but I'm not against it either. It all depends on who I get pregnant.
Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, it's Blue. Make sure you like and subscribe and go follow my Patreon. It's only $5 a month and you get an extra video a week.
So long, fried rice. Hello, fried chicken. I love you, Dad!
Today I'm going to be doing a skit by Dave Chappelle. It's called Abortion is a Woman's Right.
They ruined this nigga's life, and now he's coming back playing comedy clubs, and they acting like if he's able to do that, that's gonna hurt women. What the fuck is your agenda, ladies? Is sexism dead? No, in fact, the opposite happened. I said it was gonna get worse, and they said I was tone deaf. But 8 states, including your state, have passed the most stringent anti-abortion laws this nation has seen since Roe v. Wade. I told you. I'll be real with you, and I know nobody gives a fuck what I think anyway. I'm not for abortion. Oh, shut up, nigga. I'm not for it, but I'm not against it either. It all depends on who I get pregnant.
Oh my gosh. Classic.
I don't care. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what your religious beliefs are or anything. If you have a dick, you need to shut the fuck up on this one. Seriously. This is theirs. The right to choose is their unequivocal right. Not only do I believe they have the right to choose, I believe that they shouldn't have to consult anybody except for a physician about how they exercise that right. Gentlemen, that is fair. And ladies, to be fair to us, I also believe if you decide to have the baby, a man should not have to pay. That's fair. If you can kill this motherfucker, I can at least abandon him. It's my money, my choice. And if I'm wrong, then perhaps we're wrong. Figure that shit out for yourselves. I mean, really, y'all, what the fuck are we doing? I can't live in this new world you're proposing. And meanwhile,
Since it's kind of slowed down on the first point, I'll go ahead and talk about his first point. So funny. I really like that. Again, he's kind of controversial, and he's talking about something that you would maybe get a little uncomfortable with, because somebody usually either feels this way about abortion or this way about abortion. Typically. I mean, people typically have a pretty clear opinion on pro-life or pro-choice. So I like that he's very openly, not like judging the state, but kind of like subtly pointing out its flaws and saying that, you know, there's very stringent rules on you getting an abortion in this state, which I don't know what state it is, but there, along with 8 others. And I like his point of view. He's saying, well, what would be fair? And he's saying it in a comedic way. I sound really stiff reflecting on it. But he's basically saying, if as a woman you have the right to abort a child, which he does think that you should have a right to do because you're a woman and the baby's growing inside of you and no one else, then a man, who's kind of a part of that decision, should also have a right to, you know, be left out of the equation if you do decide to have the baby, because he doesn't exactly get to have that right to, you know, tell you if you can or can't or shouldn't or should. So I personally think that that's kind of fair. I like that he pointed that out. I mean, if you want to argue one side, you kind of have to pay attention to the other. If you want, as a woman, the sole responsibility and choice to be able to say that you do or don't want this child or baby or fetus, whatever you guys want to call it, then you also kind of have to say that you have to take on 100% of the responsibility of having that decision, because there's pros and cons that come with both. You can't just have both your way. If you want the full right to make that decision, you can't just have help with the responsibility of that decision. You need to take on the full amount of that responsibility as well.
Meanwhile, while we're worrying about all this other shit, look at what's happening. They just killed another 12 people in a mass shooting in Virginia Beach. This shit's happening every week. It happens so much, I don't care anymore. I came home early from the road. I had a $12,000 suit on because life's been going good. And I got home early and dinner was cooking. You ever come home when dinner's cooking? Doesn't that smell good? And my son saw me and he was like, Dad's home. And he got up from the table and ran over to give me a hug, but he had chicken grease all over his face. So I stiffed on him like, yo, my man. Wash these threads, son. This is an expensive suit. I don't want you to get the chicken grease all over me. And he was like, what the chicken grease? Dad, this is duck. A tear came out of my eyes. I never dreamt I'd do so well in life that I'd raise a nigga with duck grease all over his face.
Never even had duck.
And we sat down, we just talked about everything. I was telling my wife about how my shows were going, and I told her my trans jokes, and she was like, oh, I hate that joke. And you know why she hates the joke? Because she's Asian. But you know what I mean? I don't make that face at the house unless we're really fighting.
Oh, that took like a turn. Just speaking on what the skit was, women's right to have an abortion. It was really funny and really well presented. He's so casual about presenting things. He's not like, see, get it? Like, he's not like really trying to fish in the audience. Again, he kind of comes off like he's just talking in his living room, and you have the pleasure of just listening to him. It's like a conversation. He's very casual, even how he does with his body language, but also just how he's speaking to you. He doesn't seem like he's really loud or like trying to put on a show. He's just funny naturally in how he's saying, and also his facial expressions. I also wanted to kind of add in there that even though it wasn't part of the actual skit, it's in here, and it's funny that he was reflecting on raising kids that were so spoiled that his son was like, I don't know how old his son is, but he was like, Dad, it's duck. Like, I'm not actually saying this about his son, but just the way that he tried to portray that being spoiled mentality of like, it's actually duck. It was just like, okay, sorry, it's grease regardless. And I like that kind of dry humor about how he's using his child that usually kind of forms some type of nurturing and loving aspect, and that's what you kind of set the tone for whenever people bring up their kids. And he talks about how he like stiff-armed him because he's like, no, you got grease, whatever that grease is on your face, because the suit's more important. Because he's talking about going home to like a really nice meal, and you know, he had just talked about something that was kind of bad. You would think that he would want to be closer to his family, but then it doesn't stop him from being like, don't touch my suit, you're kind of dirty. So, as you can see, this was a very short clip. I do look forward to doing more Dave Chappelle. Some of the clips are a little short, but some of the longer ones I'll give a little bit more detail. I don't think that this one necessarily really needed more than what I said. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Short and simple. And until next time, bye. Thank you so much for watching.